So, Trump. He's finally gone. Finally. And it's really refreshing that on many ways we don't have to talk about him. However, you may be asking, why on earth are we talking about Trump today? Well, it looks like that Trump is running very, very rapidly, running out of time, especially in the case of the New York case, because the New York state prosecutor, even before Trump was running for election, was coming after him. There was a ton of very, very dodgy stuff going on in the Trump organization. And it looks like that, shall we say, finally, the pigeons are coming home to roost, because you cannot run from what, if these allegations do turn out to be true, some incredibly dodgy stuff going on in his organization. And I have to say, it will be fantastic to see a former president being put behind bars, because that is potentially where he could go. And bear in mind, this is not the only case currently being brought against Trump. In fact, when Trump went into the White House, he had something of about, I think it was like 12 cases following him. And obviously when he became president, those got put on hold. But now he's no longer president, they're off hold, and they are going after him hard, especially in the case of New York. So let's find out what's going on across the pond, shall we? And see how Mr. Trump is dealing with his post-presidential lifestyle. So, as always, please do remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button. And of course, down below there is a link to my Patreon page, as well as a one-off donation link called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can, well, buy me a coffee. And as always, thank you very much to the people that do support the channel that way. So, this comes from The Guardian, and the title is, New York investigation into the Trump organization is now criminal, says the Attorney General. So this has essentially gone from the way I understand it. We have what we call like a civil case and then criminal cases. And I think it's the same in America, where this has again gone from a civil case to a criminal case. So essentially, this has stepped up a gear. So let's find out what's been going on. So, when I put my teeth in, the New York Attorney General's office has opened a criminal investigation into Donald Trump's company, increasing the legal risk for the former president and his family. Attorney General Netanya James has been investigating whether the Trump organization falsely reported property values to secure loans and obtain economic and tax benefits. The announcement on Tuesday night marked another escalation of the legal jeopardy that Trump now faces 4 months after leaving office, taking to three the number of known criminal investigations into the former Republican president. We have informed the Trump organization that our investigation into the organization is no longer purely civil in nature, Fabian Levy, the spokesperson for the Attorney General's office, said. We are now actively investigating the Trump organization in a criminal capacity, along with Manhattan DA, she said. The Trump organization, the former presidential's family-owned business, could not immediately be reached for comment. Trump has said that this investigation, overseen by James, is a Democrat, is politically motivated. Separately, the Manhattan District Attorney Silas Vance, also Democrat, has been investigating Trump's pre-presidency business dealings for more than 2 years. Vance's office has said that in court filings, it was investigating the possible extensive and protracted criminal conduct at the Trump organization, including tax and insurance fraud and falsification of business records. In February, the prosecutors in Fulton County, Georgia, opened a criminal investigation into Trump's attempts to influence the state's 2020 election results after he was recorded pressuring Georgia's Secretary of State to overturn the outcome of voting based on unfounded claims of tampering. Vance's probe began after Trump's former lawyer and the fixer Michael Cohen paid hush money to silence 2 women before the 2016 elections about extramarital sexual encounters they claimed to have with Trump. James said that she opened her inquiry after Cohen testified before Congress that Trump's financial statements were manipulated to save money on loans or reduce his real estate taxes. Cohen, who once said that he would take a bullet for the president, pleaded guilty in 2018 to campaign finance violations and other crimes, and is currently serving his 3-year sentence under home confinement. As more documents are reviewed by the NYAG and the NYDA, it appears that the troubles for Donald Trump just keep on coming. Soon enough, Donald and associates will be held responsible for their actions, Cohen said in a text message to Reuters on Tuesday night. 2 people familiar with the Vance probe have told Reuters that Cohen has been interviewed by the district attorney's investigators. And court records also show that the New York Attorney General and Manhattan District Attorney investigations, while separate from one another, do overlap. Both are examining how the Trump organizations and its assets assess the value of Seven Springs, a 212-acre estate north of Manhattan that Trump purchased back in 1995. Trump's company said that the century-old 5,000-square-foot mansion on the grounds was used as a Trump family retreat. Trump's ambitions to build a championship golf course there were derailed by local opposition, and he shelved another plan to build luxury homes. But the property did become a vehicle for a tax break, according to property records and court filings. In 2015, he signed the conservation agreement, a conservation easement, an agreement not to develop on the property, covering 158 acres. The Attorney General said that in the court filing that the appraiser hired by Trump before the conversation agreement set the property value at $56.5 million and the estimate value of over $12.1 million, and an amount Trump claimed as an income tax deduction. So, as you can see there, as you can very clearly see there, I don't think that Trump is going to have an especially, shall we say, prosperous lifestyle after, after, shall we say, his former presidential filings. And that also might be a reason why he's so desperate for this quote-unquote Arizona investigation, which again is looking into voter fraud. It ain't going to find anything because, again, it's fanciful. Like I say, they are looking to a point where they are trying to see on these ballots if there is bamboo on the paper, then that somehow means that they came from China. Again, the insanity on that is even more crazier than that. Trust me. There was an interview they did with a guy who was not a believer in the conspiracy theory, but literally just trying to explain the craziness of what was going on in the investigation. And honestly, even him trying to explain it, and I thought at the start of the interview he was one of the people who did believe it, but at the end of the interview, the guy goes, "So is this what you're saying?" He goes, No, this is not what I'm saying. This is what they're saying." And you're like, what? Imagine being so desperate to do this that to even try to explain how crazy this is, you yourself come off crazy by trying to explain it. And obviously the rumours about Trump maybe making a run in 2024, well, if it gets Trump out of his legal troubles again, maybe Trump might actually try and go for it. Who knows? But by that point, who knows? It may be too late. Like I say, there are 3 criminal cases for this already. These 2 overlapping ones about him, diddling his shall we say, his tax, and of course the one in investigation into Georgia. Both could potentially see Donald Trump behind bars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be an absolute fantastic ending to essentially the Trump presidency. So with that, thank you very much for watching. As always, please do remember to hit that like, share and subscribe button. And of course, down below there is a link to my Patreon page as well as one of the donation link. And as always, thank you very much to all the people who do support my channel. And as always, we'll see you all next time.